Tonight at 7, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that strikes against Gaza are just the beginning and that Israel's now engaged in a war to ensure its survival. Tonight, as more airstrikes hit Gaza, Israel has announced a complete closure of the Gaza Strip.
Hamas have made a mistake of historic proportions. We will exact a price that will be remembered by them and Israel's other enemies for decades to come.
Almost 1,000 are confirmed dead as the war between Israeli forces and Hamas militants continues on its third day.
I could hear in the background Israeli fighter jets are still flying overhead and targeting places between time to time, and it seems that this night the Palestinian in Gaza has never seen before.
As Israel's response intensifies, the army calls up 300,000 reservists and massive tanks close to the Gaza Strip in preparation for land enclosure. We'll also report tonight to assess the impact of what has happened and what may happen next. Also, on this special edition of RBS Newsroom at 7. The Philippines Land Transport Chief is suspended by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. over corruption allegations. China's president meets in Beijing with American congressional leaders and calls for mutual respect between his country and the U.S. And the death toll in last weekend's earthquakes in Afghanistan rises to over 2,000. Good evening, and welcome to the RBS Newsroom at 7. We start tonight on Israel, where the war between its armed forces and the militant group Hamas enters its third day. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that Israel's massive onslaught against Gaza is just the beginning. Israeli warplanes are carrying out airstrikes ever since, and Israel's government has now ordered a complete closure of the area. So far, more than 900 Israelis are said to have been killed in the past few days, and Israel's response has been swift. Thousands of airstrikes, and Gaza is now cut off from all the central services, including electricity, water, and food. Officials in the Gaza Strip say at least 700 Palestinians have been killed and 3,000 have been injured. We start tonight's program with a report from our Middle East correspondent, Erika Bienvenido.